Are you having virtual speakers or remote speakers at your coming webinar, online event, or conference? Then you better stick around because in this video, I'm going to share with you the most important things that you need to work out with your remote speakers to ensure that the quality of your event doesn't go down. What up, everybody? My name is Juan Guerra, and we are live. That means it's 8 p.m. in Vienna, Austria. And I'm the host of this show and founder of Be Seen Live. We are your professional partner for producing webinars, online events, virtual events, and such things. And in today's event, I want to cover a very particular point, and that is remote speakers. As you know, in an online event, it's all about the content. And therefore, that means that your remote speakers, your virtual speakers, your guest speakers, however you call them, they have a huge role. And while audio and technology has been improving the quality of their presentations overall, there is a lot that they themselves need to manage and that you need to work out with them to ensure that the quality of your event doesn't drop. I tell you, fail to rehearse, fail to go over these points with them, and you can jeopardize the whole production of your event because you are live online. You have technology that is actually then needs to be handled on their end, and therefore you have no control. So if you haven't planned to rehearse with your guest speakers, make sure to start doing that. And during that rehearsal, during that preparation call, which should not be directly before you go live, but actually you should schedule a couple of days in advance, then you can actually go through the points that I'm going to share with you in this video. Now, the first thing is actually to understand the context, and you need to walk your speaker through how is their presentation going to be consumed. If you're doing it in a virtual platform, if you're doing it in Zoom, Hopin, B2Match, Around the World, whatever it may be, it is important that you show them how are people going to see them so that they can project themselves and put themselves in the role of a viewer. This is going to be very helpful for them, especially if they're used to normally delivering workshops physically where they use flip charts and other physical elements that are taken away in an online format. Now, yes, you have tools like Miro and other whiteboarding and Mural. There are many things that they can use nowadays online, but then again, they need to know about them. They need to see how they can actually incorporate them into the overall flow, and all that stuff takes time. If they're quite busy, chances are is that they end up presenting without any slides. Nevertheless, there's still stuff to check and to make sure that they need to control on their end. So I put together a little list here. It's going to be super efficient for you if you are organizing an online event, a virtual conference. Now, if you are interested in learning more about these topics, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. I go live on this channel Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Vienna time. We talk about everything that has to do with live video and storytelling and how together you can use it to scale your business, whether you're an event organizer, marketing team, marketing agency, entrepreneur, and so on. So let's get into it. A couple of things that you need to consider. So many times speakers like to get creative. Think about, are they going to be using a flip chart? How are you going to capture them filming that? Normally, when they are writing on paper and they're using just their webcam, what's going to happen is that they're going to be turning their back to their camera. So how are you going to make sure that people can hear them? Yeah, so either you need to work out with them that they just turn around, draw, and then come back and speak in front of the microphone, or you need to find a way that they get a wireless microphone or some kind of lavalier mic that then it follows them as they talk towards the flip chart. The other thing is that if you thought that in a physical event you need to write big, then in a virtual event you need to go even bigger. And this is especially important for people with slides. So often we see speakers with a lot of text on their slides. You need to work out with them that they don't put more than just keywords. People sometimes are watching on their phone. They can't read all that text because also the resolution, sometimes the internet drops the quality, so it's not so sharp, and then you have small fonts. There's no way people can read that. We try sometimes as we produce events and we see if there is a lot of content on a slide to zoom in, but it's pretty much impossible. If you're watching from a phone, there's no way people can actually understand it. So really work out with them that they write big. Another thing is their framing. For some reason, we tend to see that speakers believe that they need to position themselves in the middle of the whole screen. So somewhere around here. There is no need for that. You should actually come a bit higher, have about this much from the top edge, so that the people who are cropping need to crop whatever they need, or actually then you cover more of the screen and then you can connect. You can show your hands more freely, you can show more of the body. And so recommend to your speakers not to position themselves completely in the middle of the screen. Another thing, as you can see probably, is that I have a light right here, and that's really helpful. Normally, if you don't have a light, which is most likely the case, your speaker, what they can do is sit in front of a window. The problem with that is that conditions are constantly changing. And so, above all, what is most important is that they don't have a light directly on top, because then they're going to have all these shadows or that they have behind them, because then you can't see them clearly. A lot of the webcams struggle. So if you don't have a light like I do right here, yes, you can use a window, but also at the same time ask them to increase the screen brightness, both from their laptop and if they have a monitor as well. These are going to work as very good sources of light because they're actually quite close, and it's going to help a lot for the sensor to capture their face. The other thing is microphone. Audio is super important, but nowadays picture is also super important. What we notice that many participants, they like to open a tab where they have the event and then they move somewhere else and multitask, check email and so on. So many times they're listening, and therefore it's important to have good audio. But if you work it out very good with your speaker, then your speaker is going to make sure that every now and then they add some slides or something that they refer to, forcing your participant to come back. And so when you work with them, just make sure that their slides are readable, that they include things that bring people back, and therefore they need to have good audio in case those participants are not watching but just listening. They can hear them clearly and therefore come back. Nowadays, actually, you pretty much can get away with a headphone from your phone. What is important is that you don't have audio from your computer, because it can easily create a feedback loop. And many times you don't know how complex the production of the event is on the other side. We had it sometimes where we have a couple of different calls and we're embedding one on the other, so the audio cancellation doesn't work and you have an echo. At the end of the day, ask your speakers to have headphones. That way they can hear directly in their ears, and then you don't have random audio coming out, and you have a proper microphone that is close to their mouth, because the microphone from the computer is really bad, especially if they're in a closed room. If they have a wall in front of them, the audio is bouncing. And so just that's the cheapest way. You can just simply get a headset from your phone and then plug it into the laptop, and that's going to improve the quality a lot. Another thing would be, please don't put your laptop, your webcam, all the way down. Try to somehow raise it. Raise the height of your webcam so you're more or less straight. Because what happens otherwise is that you start filming from the bottom up and you have the whole chin there, then you're looking down. Avoid all this. If you can, try to raise your laptop. If you're using the webcam, just bring your laptop up, or try to have somehow maybe get a small tripod where you can put your camera a bit higher so that you can have it at eye level. This is going to help a lot on the way it looks. Between that and then you don't place yourself in the middle, but you come a bit higher, then you're going to look very nice. As you can see, the background is important. It can be quite distracting. I personally enjoy that we can see into people's personal space because live video is a method to connect. And when you see somebody's at home, it seems authentic. You don't, it's like a personal view of who is that person. And so it's definitely interesting, although it can got quite crowded back there. And so you want to avoid things that are going to just distract people from actually listening or paying attention. I hope that this has been quite useful for you. If you're an event organizer, if you're hosting a show online, or if you have some kind of guest speakers and you would like to make sure that everything is in place as before they come to your event, if you want to make sure that they have everything ready, if you know that their slides are going to work and so on, we are putting together a class that we're going to run weekly where they can actually simply enroll. We'll deliver all the content because this is just the tip of the iceberg. We'll deliver all the content and actually go one by one with them to ensure that everything has been set so that by the time they come to your event, they're more than ready to go live. Make sure to check in the comment section below as I'm going to share the links there. My name is Juan Guerra. I'm the founder of Be Seen. And if you're looking for a partner for your next online event, if you feel you're struggling with technology, make sure to visit us at beseenlive.com. You can always go in the comment section. And as you know, tomorrow we're going to go live right here at 8 p.m. Vienna time. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, before I go, what I would like to ask you is, in the comment section, what is the funniest thing you have seen in an online event from one of the speakers? Share your story in the comment section below. We have seen a lot of things, so I'm quite curious to see what is happening on your end. Thank you so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.